Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name is Max Cruz, and today's job is for me to give the player ratings to the last night's game to Newcastle. I mean, we got a point, didn't we? And to be honest, I didn't expect that at all going into the game. I had no confidence whatsoever. I think it was one of the few games this season where, I felt like I didn't really want to watch it. But obviously, as we do, Evertonians, we follow them through thick and thin. And I watched the game and we managed to come out with a point. So I was positive with that. So if we crack on with the player ratings, I think we've got to go into obviously Jordan Pickford. I mean, Jordan, how many times has he kept us in games this season and over the years? If it wasn't for him, I don't know where we'd be. He came into basically a cauldron there, St James's Park. He was getting abuse from the first moment, dinosaurs in the stadium, a lot. But he did really well, and it's just shown how much he's matured over the years. He made some cracking saves, and if it wasn't for him, it would have been 2-3 before we even got the penalty in the end. So I've gone for Pickford. I've gone for a rating of 8. And then we go into the rest of the defence. We've got Ben Godfrey. As we know, Ben is no right back really. He's naturally a centre half, and he struggles to play there sometimes. So, on the whole, I thought he was solid. I feel like sometimes he's caught on his heels a lot, but for the most part, he kept Harvey Barnes quiet, which is no mean feat. I mean, he's a good player at the end of the day. Obviously, he's getting back to full fitness and sharpness, but he stuck to his job, and in the end did quite well. The only problem is going forwards. I mean, it seems like as soon as the ball goes wide, the play just breaks down. But you can't really blame him too much because he's not a fullback, as we know. But then you look at the left back option, obviously Mykolenko back after a virus against Bournemouth. And glad to have him back. I mean, that clearance off the line, brilliant. He always seems to be in the right places, to be fair to him. He's improved so much this season. Defensively, he's solid as they come. One-on-one, he's brilliant. He intercepts well, makes the right decisions. The only problem with Mykolenko is going forwards. I mean, as soon as we get to the halfway line, once again he turns back. He doesn't really look to take the man on. But overall, we know Mykolenko is solid. And I went for a rating of 7 for Vitali. So well done to him. Tarkowski, it wasn't his best game, was it? He was caught lacking for the first goal. He was several yards behind the rest of the line, where Isak collected the ball over the top and scored coolly, to be fair to him. Tarkowski, other than that, well, he nearly scored an own goal, didn't he, with a bit of a shank that hit the post, and he smiled at that. But overall, he's pretty solid. I mean, he's been pretty solid for most of the season, him and Jared. So with Tarkowski, I've gone for a rating of 6. Jared, on the other hand, he could have done better for the Isak goal. I mean, it's not easy against Isak. He's so good. He's so fast. His balance is brilliant. But Isak, he finished that well. I thought Jared should have stayed on his feet a bit longer. I thought he dived in. I think if he stayed on his feet, he could have perhaps got the block in. But he's still learning. And for the rest of the game, he was pretty solid. He dived in a few times on different challenges, but Jared, we know how good he is. He's going to be a superstar. So I went for a rating of 6 there. Moving into midfield with Idrissa Gana Gueye. Wasn't his best performance. We know he's not a ball playing midfielder. That's not really his forte. But I thought at times he did okay. But I thought he struggled with the pace of the game in general. To be honest, I think that was his issue. Obviously, he ended up coming off in the end. And then you look again at Nana. We know how good he can be, but we always feel like we're just asking for more for him. Sorry, I gave Gay a rating of 5 for that performance. But yeah, onto Nana. We feel like we always just need a bit more from him. He's got the ability, and I know it's hard, because he doesn't necessarily have the best players around him. And sometimes you think, they're not on his wavelength. But you just always feel like with Onana, you're just thinking, can you do more? I'm not too sure if he picked up an injury before it came off, but it just felt like he wasn't bothered. I know it's got a strong thing to say, but we just know how good he can be, and we just ask for more. We just want more, really, especially when we're struggling at the minute to get wins. The core, for me, still seems to be get back to sharpness and fitness. No goal since the Chelsea win. He had a few strikes on goal, but just couldn't seem to find the target. A lot of them went into too easy for the Bravco. One was flashed over the bar early on. So I gave Decore a rating of 5. I gave Onana a rating of 5 as well. I just felt like they just didn't really have much impact on the game. I know Onana, his stats shown that his passing accuracy was brilliant, but sometimes you have to play it by what you see. And for me, both of them just weren't really having any real effect on the game. Then we look at it, we go Ashley Young Ashley Young on the wing. A lot of people are thinking, 39-year-old Ashley Young. I mean, how can he still be playing on the wing for us? And to be honest, you do agree with that, but on the most part, when you look at the game, I thought he was quite solid. He won us the penalty, and it's nice that he demanded the penalty and asked the questions to the referee. I think there's not enough of that for us as a team. We're quite passive in that way. And you look at the top teams, they're always demanding for decisions to go their way, and they don't always go their way. But ask the question, because like last night, we actually got the penalty and we ended up scoring and getting the point. So I went for a rating of 7 for Ashley Young. I thought he was solid. And you move into Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil, we know how good he can be with his chance creation sometimes and his crosses. We know he's got a sweet left foot. And when he's good, he's good. But at the minute, it just doesn't seem to be clicking for him. He did create a chance in the opening moments where Tarkowski headed one over the bar from a McNeil cross. But he just seems to be lacking that extra bit of confidence and sharpness at the moment. I thought his best spell was after we scored. He seemed to be closing people down. He's been more positive. He got caught in possession on the break, towards the end in the injury time. But I went for a 6 with Dwight McNeil. So if you move on to Beto, as we know what we're going to get with Beto. He worked hard. We gave defenders something to think about. You just wish you could be a bit more clever sometimes in possession. It seems too easy to take the ball off him, or the ball will bounce under his foot. But he works the channels well, and as we know, he works hard. I gave Beto a 6 overall. You just hope he can add a bit of composure to his game. He's scored a few. He scored. Who was it against Bournemouth? Scored the header against West Ham after missing the penalty. So I just feel like Beto at the minute is going to be more than anything an impact player off the bench. I don't think he's the man to look to. But then we look at the subs. I mean, in the first half, I think we can all agree it was quite a poor game. Poor from our point of view. Couldn't keep the ball, no attacking threat. It just seemed like we had no ideas. And obviously, we brought on the subs. On came James Garner, Gomez, Calvert-Lewin came on as well. So when Garner came on, he was tidy on the ball. Obviously, he's reacting to losing his place in the team. Lost his place after his performance at Bournemouth. But he provided us with some much needed quality, and he made a good turn inside the box and hit the post. And you think sometimes, why is it not going in for us? But it's just the way it is at times. But I thought James Garner played really well when he came on, and helped towards getting that point in the end. So I went with a rating of 7 for James Garner. And then we look at Andre Gomez, and we know Andre Gomez, when he's at his best, he's probably the most elegant and most composed footballer at the club at the minute. I thought he played really well. He provided that that sort of link person between midfield and attack. And I just think sometimes that if we could just allow Gomez to just sit in those pockets and just find those spaces, he'd be much better used to us than running backwards, because that's not his style. I mean, that's not what he does best. What he does best is getting on the ball and bringing players into the team and just finding those pockets. So yeah, I thought Gomez played really well when he came on. I gave him a 6 overall. Because of and then we move on to Calvert-Lewin. Obviously, what was it? It was 24 games without a goal. We finally get a penalty there towards the end. Ashley Young winning that penalty after getting wrestled down by Dummett. It took some bottle for him to pick up that ball. I mean, an absolute cauldron of atmosphere inside St James's. But it really took some bottle. He could easily thought, no, I'm not having this. But he remained composed and smashed it in. I mean, people were saying like it wasn't a great penalty, but he scored. So that's all that matters. We just hope now, I mean, it ends that 24-game goal drought for Calvert-Lewin. We hope just he can pop in with a few more now for him, for our sake, and perhaps save our season a bit. But you move on. You got Chimiti, came on mostly defended. I gave Calvert-Lewin an 8, by the way. Yeah, and Chimiti, came on. He mostly defended, but he worked hard for us, and it's nice that he has the attitude to come on and try and affect the game in some way. I think he's got a lot to come. I'd like to see more of him, but obviously that will come all time. He's still young. I just feel like perhaps he should be given more minutes. But we don't know what happens on the training ground. He's still developing. He's doing well for the Portugal youth side on 21s. So there's more to see from him. And then you think when you got Captain Coleman came on, as always, other than obviously the own goal the other day, which was unfortunate, that got us the loss against Bournemouth. Coleman came on, he stayed out the point for us, and that's what Coleman does. He's solid, composed for the most part, and he works hard, and he loves Everton. He's like any other fan in the ground. So I went for a 7 for Seamus. So that's my ratings. Let me know if you agree in the comments. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.